Maybe the rest of our division's just playing bad baseball and they're taking advantage.
No, Joey, I got.
And maybe we could have played the Jaguars in the Super Bowl.
No, Joey, I got what
right.
you're saying. I got what you're saying. So, what's your expectations, real quickly, for the Eagles?
My expectations is they're going to make the playoffs and they're going to win the division.
Okay, that's your expectations?
Because of
That's
what I've
simple.
seen up to this point, yeah.
No, okay, so what's your expectations
And that's way ahead of schedule. I
about the
didn't
Flyers
expect that.
this year?
Okay, so I'm changing gears to the Flyers.
Yeah, of course. It's
I don't
always
think they're going to
sports.
make the playoffs.
Okay, you don't think they're going to make the playoffs. What's your expectations?
My expectations is they're going to fall way short.
Okay,
by
so
at least 4
okay,
games.
so what if this team goes to the Stanley Cup?
That's great, but their expectations for that franchise. Wait a minute.
But on the way of this happening, after you predicted that they weren't going to go, they went.
But Will, the franchise expectations. But the franchise expectations are that the Flyers are playoff
Dude,
contenders.
Vegas had the Phillies above 85. They're going to get it.
But wait a minute.
That's the way it is.
Will.
Vegas had the Phillies above 85.
Above 85, but there's no comparison to the Flyers because the Flyers are expected to make the playoffs. They are expected to do well.
No, I'm not saying that, Joey.
No, but that with their roster and the expectations
listen,
of
every fan expects their team
you're
to go to
missing
the promised
point.
land.
to
You're
go to the
missing
promise.
the point.
They won.
You're
No.
missing the point.
No, a point was never given out. We're just basically talking
The
about
point was given
expectations.
out, whether you're skeptical or whether you're bought
No,
in.
it's not. It's all in. Are you all in?
I am all in.
If they make the World
Are
Series
you?
and lose, you're not all in.
What if they make it to the World Series and lose?
Just because I'm skeptical of their success thus far doesn't mean that I'm not all in. I hope you realize that.
Wait a
I hope
minute.
you realize.
Then you're not picking a side. Then you can't say you're skeptical, but you're all in. Pick a side.
You're talking about
I
apples
love
and
Norway,
oranges.
I do.
I can absolutely be skeptical of their success. Yes,
You said, are you skeptical going forward with the Phillies?
it doesn't matter. You can still be skeptical and still be all in. I don't buy that their success is solely on them. I think a lot of things have happened to put them in the position that they're in.
Like what?
Like a lot of teams playing poorly. Them getting some breaks.
The Padres.
Look, they're losing to teams they should beat, and they're beating teams they should lose. If that's not a blueprint for inconsistency, I don't know what is.
I'm not arguing inconsistency.
Joey,
now you're arguing apples and oranges.
So I can be, because they're inconsistent, I can be skeptical of their success, yet still, what? So because I'm skeptical of their success, I don't want them to win? Did you not grow up down the street from me most of our lives? You know me.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm not skeptical of their success now, and I won't be so skeptical of their success later. I think I'm all in. I've been all in with this team.
That's fine. You're allowed, and you can be all in and still. Thank you, Will. You can be all in and still be like, you know what? I'm still not buying this lineup. I'm still not buying.
But see, he's going to the World Series. I'm just saying, let's get to the playoffs because
No, I agree with
that's
that.
the goal number one.
No, to me, all in
That's
means
goal
is this
number
team a
one.
contender?
Right, and I'm saying that
No, they're
team-
not a contender.
this team can be.
No, they
I
can't.
don't think so.
No, they
Yeah,
can't.
on certain nights and on other nights they can't be. That's
But it doesn't
That's
take
the
many
point.
nights.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It's the longest season out of all of sports.
Right. When you're in the playoffs, how many games is it?
Best of 7.
Right. How many games do you have to win?
4.
Right. How many rounds are there?
3, and then the World Series.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So-
16 wins.
Give or take. Yep.
So not give or take, it's 16 wins.
So
Well, no, the first is
So
the 5
in order-
games.
If you're,
That's why I said give or
okay,
take.
if you're in
All
the
right,
wild
It's a
card,
play-in game,
take 2
wild
out,
card.
whatever. I don't give a shit really. The bottom line is, when it comes down
Thank
to
you,
it,
Will.
can this
That's
team win
clear.
the World Series or be a contender? That's it.
Okay.
No, that's it.
The hat on your head.
For you to say
the
yes,
hat on your
you're
head. There's
nuts,
not many
dude, you're
people
nuts,
called the
dude.
Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
no,
Okay?
of course not.
So why am I going to, after everything that has transpired in the last 6 months, Why the hell am I going to doubt the Phillies now?
Hold on.
Why am I going to doubt any sport?
The Phillies have nothing to do with the Eagles.
The Sixers went to the playoffs
let me say
and beat a team in the first round.
Let me see if I can clarify this a little bit. From the beginning of the year till now, have my expectations of what they're going to do changed? Yes. Am I still skeptical because I just feel they're inconsistent? Yes. Does that mean I don't think they're going to make the playoffs? No, I didn't say
So
that.
then what are you skeptical about? If they're going to make the playoffs, then they're going to be
The Braves are winning, by the way.
If they were look at the
They're going to be successful.
Somebody wake me up when this is over.
look, compared to a lot of other teams in the league, they're not scoring anywhere near as many runs.
But they still have the wins. That's what matters.
For now, Joey, that's what I'm saying. Going forward, are they? What team's going to show up? What team's going to show up? Like if the last two series didn't
Do
happen.
you consider them winning the division and going to the playoffs a success?
No.
This year.
I do. This
I mean,
year, I do.
I do and I
year.
don't.
Absolutely.
Wait. You do and you don't. Pick one.
Yeah, you got to pick one.
I mean,
No, I know what he's saying.
it's like you don't know what team's gonna come up, Joey.
That's,
But it's just about
It's
the
like,
goal.
if you can't-
if you achieve the goal,
Let me finish.
if they win the division this year,
if
and
they
make it to the
achieve that
playoffs-
goal,
yes.
I mean, it's like the inconsistency is like what's been the problem all year. Some days they play good, some days they play really bad. I mean,
do we understand that the last 4 or 5 years they've been in the high 90s with losses? Okay?
I understand that.
And they have the possibility of being in the low 90s with wins.
Yeah, but how can you be all in when the team
Just
is,
for that fact alone.
I don't know. Tell me what all in is.
Yeah,
Just
exactly,
tell me
thank
what
you.
it is.
All in to me is cheering.
Okay, here we
is
go.
cheering-
Holy shit!
All in to me is cheering for your team regardless
Right.
of whether you're a skeptic of
Right.
the product that's on the field. All in is, look, if they show up and get blown out by 17, tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to read up on them, I'm going to check in on them, I'm going to check on my news for my film. If they come out and win by 17, I'm going to do the same thing. That's my all in. I'm never not all in. Pretty sure I'm the epitome of
Well, then
all in.
on that, I'm all in. And, like, I'm not cheering for any
But
other
my
team
point
but
is,
Phillies.
you can be all in, but be like,
Oh, are
No,
you sold?
I-
Are you sold yourself?
and all right.
Are you sold on
You know,
the
they're
Phillies making
like,
the playoffs?
look at this
That's
one
it.
handful of games he did this, and then this handful of games it wasn't really that great, and the pitching didn't show up. So it's what Phil's team am I going to get tonight? Now, yes, for the last 4 or 5 years, we've been on the other end of, at the end of the season, what Phil's teams are we going to get? Are going to get tonight with wins or losses in the high 90s. Now, this particular year, we're on the other end of that, where they're playing well, and right now they're in first
And
place.
that's growth.
And
And that's
it's
why
not-
I'm not as skeptical because
I got
I'm ahead of the
and
curve.
I'm not arguing how you feel at all.
I get it. I just
110%.
I feel like
Got your back, buddy.
I feel like we all need to kind of take a step back and a breath
No,
and
you do.
understand like what we've actually seen in this city in the last 6 months.
Inconsistency.
We've seen inconsistency.
No,
In
with
the city?
with the Phils, not in the city. If anything,
No,
in the last 6
the
months,
Phils.
this city's been very consistent.
I'm talking about the Phils in general.
Right. And I
inconsistency.
said, well, if you listen through those headphones
You're-
that are around that big head of yours,
your power hitter, your fourth hole hitter's hitting 215.
yeah, I get that. You've made that abundantly clear.
Well, guess what? That's not
Guess
good.
what?
That's not good at all.
Guess what? Our 4 hitter a couple years ago was batting worse than that.
You're fielding.
Yeah, no, and
You had
losses
listen,
in the high 90s.
Listen, when you won the World Series,
And somehow
when you,
we're not doing
listen,
that with this.
when the Phillies
No,
were on
'cause
fire
like you said,
and they
it's
won
growth.
the World Series, they went to the World Series, they were in the playoffs. They descended quickly after that when they won the World Series.
They disintegrated.
No, their fielding though was top of baseball. Their fielding's not right now.
I'll agree with that. But the fact of the matter is...
Their
that-
base running sucks.
You're agreeing with something that Will said?
No, I
And
agree.
listen, they don't have
If
what a
anything, he's ripping
championship
off a
team
point that I
has.
made earlier.
How do you expect these guys to learn how to run the bases out of nowhere, learn how to field better out of nowhere? Like, If it
No.
happens, it happens. I'm not saying nothing's impossible, but right now, this team will not win the World Series,
Listen.
nor go to it.
Gabe fell on his sword the other day for saying that it's my fault that they didn't know about how to execute the fundamentals.
Gabe said
Absolutely
that
right, it's your
Santana's a good isolation player. This isn't basketball. What the hell was he talking about?
The fact
Some
that
days, some
has
days he
the
doesn't
less-
know what he's talking about. Some days he
because
does
he
know
has
what he's
the
talking about.
least amount of errors on the
You
team.
know what the issue is with that guy is? He's worried too much about the fucking gym and not his
Because-
own team.
And the analytics.
Santana.
Thank you. He's worried. He's worried
you
about
guys
what
need
the
to-
hell he looks like on camera. He's worried about what he sounds like on camera. He's not worried about that friggin' team. That's what I'm telling you.
Listen, if you guys
Right
need
now.
a room or need like 5 minutes, we can step out. But
Yeah, we'll have a room. We'll do T-bombs. We'll
yeah,
have
okay.
a good time.
But my point is,
we'll
I
talk
think
about
that-
sports and understand what each other's are saying instead of what Joey says.
My point is, I think that Capital was saying about Santana about isolation is that that Santana has the least amount of errors on the team.
Okay. All right. We just spent a ridiculous amount of time
On the Phillies.
arguing about the Phillies.
Shit.
Let's make a jump here.
Jesus.
So, our first preseason game of the year. I say our, like I'm on the team. The Eagles' first preseason game of the year was this past Thursday. If you could take something, I myself took two things. If you could take something that got you excited from this past Thursday, now it's the first preseason game. There's a lot of preseason to go, but for me, Dallas Goedert looked like he might be something. Now he's not, he's not playing against ones and twos. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What you guys take from it?
Mike Mayock called him the next Zach Ertz.
I know. I saw that.
So I like that. I mean, if he's the next Zach Ertz,
It's getting
and Zach can be re-signed later on
I
because his
think-
contract's coming up.
I think the only way Zach Ertz is going to go above the way he's playing right now is if Wentz gives it to him more. But you can't. You got Jeffrey, you got Wallace.
Who-
Too many balls to go around.
No, what I'm saying is there's too many weapons for Wentz to throw to make Zach Ertz look like a Gronkowski.
Too many balls to go around.
Yeah, which
Golden
isn't
State's figured
no,
it out so far.
no,
Yeah, well.
which isn't great. No, but Tom, football's different.
I
Yeah,
understand
I'm
what you're saying.
telling
But what
you.
I'm saying is you got a lot of weapons.
It's not a bad
Yeah,
problem
but
to have.
but you know how
It's the best problem
no, but you
to
know how football is. You can't have a guy that has 40 catches in the year, 600 yards, and 8 touchdowns, and say that he's a Pro Bowl tight end. But
No.
that's maybe what Goddard can get.
No, nobody.
You know what I mean?
Nobody's saying he's a Pro Bowl tight end.
No,
Nobody's
he said
saying
that-
any of these.
I'm
guys
not
are-
saying that. I'm saying they're saying he's the next Zach Ertz. I'm saying right now that Zach Ertz is pretty much where Zach Ertz is going to be. I don't think
In
he's
this
gonna,
offense.
I don't think he's going any further.
Not in this offense.
No, not in
If
this
he was on
offense,
another
no.
team,
Oh yeah,
he'd be a
yeah. What I'm saying is
thousand yard
that's the
tight end.
Eagles'
I think he
team.
can improve.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying he
Goddard-
can get more, but I'm just
Goddard
saying.
may be Zach Ertz's replacement because when you can't afford
Yeah.
Zach Ertz in the future, Goddard's.
Ertz
Coming
Ertz is gonna want the bank.
I hate to say it, but Ertz is probably
and he
not.
probably deserves it
not-
more than anybody else.
But you know what I would do though? In all honesty, I would say Goddard, you could go. I would give Ertz the money because I do believe.
well, no,
that-
Goddard's making a rookie deal.
Yeah, but
so.
I don't think Goddard has what Zach Ertz has. I don't think he has that. I don't. I've seen what Zach Ertz does on the field, especially in a big game that he's never been in, the Super Bowl. The way he played in that Super Bowl, the big play that he made to score that touchdown, to get into that end zone.
Are you still worried, Tom, about the elbow? Because I saw your message.
Yes,
the other day.
I'm very.
No,
Still worried about the
no.
elbow?
Tom,
Okay.
why wouldn't you, dude? They thought eventually.
It was a
He
contusion.
practiced.
It
Yeah,
was a
but they
contusion.
thought.
No,
Like that's a big.
it was a
that
contusion.
was
It was
all
fine.
that was all rumors, and
Yeah.
that's what I stated.
Yeah,
hope
rumor
yeah,
has it.
yeah.
He practiced today. He's fine.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, but
fine.
what scares me already, that shit's happening. Like Sidney
Yes,
Jones.
but it's because there's so much.
on us.
Yes, exactly right.
Oh,
now,
please,
Joey.
let's get to this because guess what? I hated our second.
Hold on, I'm not.
I know,
I'm not done,
I know.
I'm not done with the offense.
I know.
I got one for you, Joey. Another thing that got me excited, and you might want to call this one a hot take
Okay.
or a bold prediction.
Ladies
Alright.
and gentlemen, Bobby Foster is listening to the show live.
Bob Foster.
We love you, Bob.
What's up, buddy? So, the Philadelphia Eagles could hit on another local, undrafted, free agent running back in back-to-back years. Josh Adams.
Ah,
Josh Adams,
yes.
baby.
ND Pride.
Yes, sir.
He looked good.
Yes.
He looked really good.
Yes.
He burst. He had his a good burst
6'3",
through the hole.
215 pounds, and he hits them holes
He
hard.
hits them very hard,
Ooh.
and I like that O line overall.
I think
That O line made some huge hauls.
my hot take is Pumphrey's gone. Josh Adams.
I think Pumphrey and Small would have gone.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think
When- I
they're
think
both
We
when-
gonna
also have a Giants fan listening to the show, a buddy of mine at work, a foreman, Pete Cure. So we have
Yay.
a Giants fan listening. And also, Pete knows a lot about football in general and even pays attention to the Eagles because he lives in Philly.
Yeah, well, we're not going to talk Giants.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Joey.
Yeah, sorry, Pete. But the fact of the matter is,
He'll appreciate that. He
Yeah.
probably can't stand you from the arguments from earlier.
I
That's fine.
got to side with Joey on that one. Though. We'll I got to keep the Giants talk to a minimum. Although Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, but at least he's a hometown fan.
yeah, at least he didn't.
He's from New York.
At least Saquon didn't suffer the
He's a
same fate
hometown
as
fan.
Juice.
I give him that.
Yeah.
He's not a fraud.
At least Saquon didn't suffer.
He doesn't like the Jaguars.
Joey.
Yeah, okay.
He doesn't like
What
the
needs
Jaguars.
what needs work?
He's
What needs
Secondary.
work after Thursday's game, Joey?
Secondary.
Rob just
They
texted
got
me. It's a good
scorched
show so
again.
far.
They got scorched by
Wait,
a
look.
backup.
Rob did.
They got scorched by a backup. By two backups. By a third stringer. By a guy that I
Text
didn't
all
even
of us,
know.
Jamie. It's called the group text.
I mean, listen.
I know.
The secondary looked atrocious.
Hey, Rob.
I mean, they got a pick. Rasul got a pick. But other than that, I wasn't impressed. They let these guys that are like going to be practice squad players school them, and I wasn't happy with it.
okay. You're not happy with the game one of preseason. Well, it always happens like that.
They had the starting secondary out
It's just
there. Will.
preseason. I mean,
They had the starting secondary out there and got schooled.
I'll be honest with you. I said a couple of weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, I said, "Are you down on Russell Douglas?" Yeah, I see what you mean now. With
Oh,
Russell.
you really? Yeah.
Because like he got burned by Juju Smith-Schuster. That showed me.
and he got burnt by the other kid, Washington.
Yep.
yeah, and Juju Smith-Schuster didn't burn other dudes
I was gonna say
in his
like,
rookie year in the NFL.
Are you kidding me? So what? Juju
Oh
Smith,
my
Juju
God.
Joe,
Oh my
Joe Schmo bagging groceries, a shopping bag? Like no.
But he caught like.